Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Rachel, we good? We ready to start?
Good. Let me give a little intro. We had a few people jump in. Hey guys, we are here today for our happiness party, popsicle party with Chef Kimberly Houston. We're gonna go through a couple different recipes. So as I said before, feel free to grab ingredients and follow along, or just kind of hang out and see how it's done. And we're just here, celebrating that we have one more day left of the Walking on Sunshine 10K, which some of you are already done. Some of you just started. Some of you are going to knock it all out tomorrow. I'm proud of each and every one of you. It is not easy. I'm still walking myself. So we're in this thing to win it. So you guys can enjoy this tonight with us as a community event. And I hope you guys love it. Okay, Chef Kimberly, we're ready for you.
Cool.
You're muted. And I think I did that. Sorry, everyone.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, we're gonna try that again. Hi, everybody. I am Chef Kimberly. Um, I unfortunately do not have an assistant in my kitchen tonight, so hopefully this all goes well. Usually one of my children is over by the computer. Not anymore. So, it looks like you guys picked 3 of the 5 popsicle recipes. We're gonna do our best to get through all 3. Okay. So, just a tiny bit of information about me. I am a trained pastry chef. Went to Le Cordon Bleu 9 years ago. I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I have been teaching children how to cook for the past, 9 years in the kitchen. Just recently launched an online academy called Teach Me How to Bake, which is super exciting. And I'm also a food blogger at chefkimmyhoo.com. And I noticed that in the on the Zoom link, it took you to my cookie shop that I closed in December. So yes, I used to do custom cookies too. So sugar is my life. We are going to start with the fudge sickle first. Because we need to cook it. So we have my little makeshift kitchen right here to cook it. So even though I'm using a pan, please use a pot. I have to use a pan because I'm on my makeshift kitchen and this is all it will take. So that's what I'm gonna use. You are free to ask any questions. If you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, you can, or you can type it in the chat and then Rachel will tell it to me because I can't see over there. If I'm talking too fast, let me know. I tend to do that. So we are going to start with the fudge one, okay? So on our ingredients, we need unsweetened cocoa powder, granulated sugar, cornstarch, kosher salt, 2 cups of milk, whole milk preferably, and vanilla extract, okay? So our instructions tell us, like, we should have put this in a bowl, but I'm not going to put it in a bowl. I already pre-measured my ingredients. So I'm actually putting everything, you probably can't see that, there we go. I'm putting everything straight into my pan so that I can whisk it while it heats, okay? And if this gets too loud, let me know. All right, so the number one thing you need to know about this is that we're making a chocolate sauce right now. So the reason that I'm whisking without any liquid is so that I can break up the cocoa powder and I can break up the cornstarch. If we don't break those up, we will have clumps in our mixture once we finish, okay? So I'm heating it. This is probably like low heat. If you were on your stove, it smells very fragrant. It smells like chocolate. All right, so I've got that nice and mixed. And now I'm going to slowly start pouring in the milk. My vanilla is also in the milk already, so you won't see me add that. I'm adding this slowly. This is kind of like making a gravy. Like this reminds me of like my grandmother being in the kitchen where she started with like a roux on the stove and you were slowly incorporating your liquid to it. So we're gonna do it that way. The chocolate sauce will thicken up because of the cornstarch in it. Now, this is my word of caution. The recipe that you guys were given is not super sweet. If you're like me and you like a really sweet popsicle, I would up the amount of sugar that's in it because I like my popsicles to be really, really sweet. All right, so I've got all of my milk in. Now we're gonna whisk this until it comes to like a little bit of a boil. But while it's going, you'll notice I won't stop whisking because it's gonna start thickening up and I don't want it to burn. So in your workbooks, there we go. You guys were told about a couple of different type of popsicle makers. For the chocolate ones, I'm using these where they lay flat. Simply because it was a lot easier than to use this. So I tried it in these, and it was just, they froze better in this one versus the stand-up one. So I went with these. I'm actually gonna crank my heat up. I don't think this is going fast enough for me. All right, we're gonna let that heat up. Aw, look at the little cartoon. That's so cute. It's a cartoon on my screen. I don't know. If you guys have any questions, definitely ask me. It doesn't have to be about popsicles. You can ask me about me. I'm kind of interesting. Cool. I'll tell you my life story. Whatever you want to know. It smells like hot chocolate now. All right, we're gonna crank this up. One more time. All right, I'm taking my heat way up to rush this because I'm not working on a gas stove and this is electric. I kind of have to watch it a little more than usual. Well, once this starts to bubble,
We had a question. Can you substitute dark chocolate powder? And how many popsicles will this make?
so this is going to make, I believe it was 12. If I'm not mistaken, I had 12 out of this one. You can use dark chocolate, but honestly, I don't think you really need to because we're using unsweetened cocoa. So it's already super rich, but you can totally use a dark chocolate powder if you want to. I would just taste it as you go along. Because if you go with the darker chocolate, it's going to be more bitter than the unsweetened cocoa, and you may need to compensate with the sugar. Rachel, I can't see that. I can see it, but I can't read it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Where can you find the flat molds?
Oh, Amazon.
Amazon. Okay. And yeah. Perfect. Makes sense about the dark chocolate.
Yeah. Amazon. All of my molds have come from Amazon. I've made so many popsicles this summer that I have all sizes and shapes. Like this is my go-to one. But then I got these because my daughter said she wanted a different shape on them. Like if you actually look at them, they have designs. So if you want to be fancy and have designs on your popsicles, just look at the mold because the mold is what's going to give it the design. Popsicle, don't have popsicle mold envy. Oh, okay. I think I cranked my heat up. Can you guys see all the smoke? I cranked my heat up a little too high. It's going. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. It really smells like Christmas in my kitchen, and I love it. Oh my God. All right, so now it's getting like super, super thick. I have a spoon. Let's see. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit more. I want it to get just a tad bit thicker, but
I have a question.
yeah.
So if you can't drink milk or you're lactose intolerant, can you do an oat milk, an almond milk? Would it kind of work the same? What do you think?
So I don't drink milk, and even though I've been making popsicles all summer, I don't drink milk. So I have tried several different things. Now, when we get to like the watermelon popsicle, you can substitute, you know, like a dairy-free type of situation. Nothing really gave this the consistency that like my brain was okay with when I was trying to take out the fat. So we kind of need the fat in this. The other piece is I can try it again, but possibly I should have increased the cornstarch. So even though the cornstarch thickens this up, it also gets rid of like a super icy texture to the popsicle. Like the cornstarch is gonna make it smooth. So if you don't put the cornstarch in it, it's gonna like an ice pop that's chocolate. So to go with something that's like super silky, because this is super silky, it just didn't work without the fat. So now the only other thing I can think of is if you use coconut milk, where you know how like when you first buy it, like all that fat is sitting on the top. In my head, that feels like that would work. I haven't tried it, but in my head, I feel like it would work. So I would do that. Okay, I have chocolate sauce. And it's thick and luscious and beautiful. And it coats the spoon. So can you guys see that my spoon is fully coated? That's what we want. If your spoon is not coated, it's not thick enough. I know it does look yummy. My daughter's gonna be so happy when she wakes up. It's gonna be a freezer full of popsicles, I swear. So here's where the fun part of popsicles comes in. When we move to like these molds, this will be a lot easier to do because we have funnels and we can use our dishes like this. This one not so much. So we're gonna ladle it over into it. Just a little chef's trick. If you're making a lot of these, put them on baking sheets first. Put your thing on the baking sheet. That way you can pick the whole thing up and put it in the freezer. Because if not, it's gonna go everywhere. Trust me. I made that mistake already this summer. It was not fun being scarred by hot chocolate. So with these, I am actually going to put my popsicle sticks in first. And I have my cute little 99 Walks popsicle sticks. I don't even know if y'all can see that, but they're so cool. I knew it. What? Rachel's looking at me. Why are you looking at me like that, Rachel?
I didn't tell everyone that their popsicle sticks are coming along with their sunglasses and all of their race stuff because some stuff got caught up in customs, so it didn't make it to everyone, but they're literally shipping probably right now.
I understand. I've been waiting on stuff since like before Mother's Day, and it's just sitting in U.S. Customs, and the company is like, "There's nothing I can do about this. It's in the United States," and I was like, "Thanks, guys. Thank you a lot. Yeah, I understand. It's okay." All right, so I let my chocolate sauce cool down just a little bit, only because I burned myself this summer doing this. But I'm gonna move this out of the way. Grab it. Because I work with children all the time, I always have like measuring cups available to do stuff. They seem to like that. Plus, it's easy to figure out how much you actually need in each one of them because you want them to be even. So that was about a fourth of a cup into the into my cavity. I'm not feeling the cavity all the way up. Let's join Israel. Thanks, awesome. Oh, thanks. It's kind of fun. It keeps me young, as my children say, because now my children are old, but I'm not aging with them. So it's fine. My oldest is in college. I'm not aging with him. Just because he got older, I did not. That is my rule, and I'm sticking with it. Sorry. Okay. We're gonna do one more. Okay, I take it back. No. Yeah. This made 12. I cut the recipe down. I was like, this isn't enough. I cut the recipe down on purpose because I don't have a need for 12 popsicles. Or at least not 12 chocolate. Okay, I'm also a stickler for cleaning up your things. So if anything spills on it, like just wipe it off. Okay. Now, you could use this if you thickened it up some more and pour it on top of ice cream. But I didn't tell you that. Just letting you know. But then you could get a dairy-free ice cream, Rachel, and pour this over the top of it. You know, that's just my thought process on it. I feel like it'll work. Okay, so I'm going to, now here's the kicker. Everything I need to do is on the other side of my computer. So I'm going to remove this and switch out the stuff so that we can do the watermelon popsicles. Okay? Okay, Rachel, play a game or something. I don't know. Trivia, ask me questions.
Putting me on the spot. Also, I'll tell you, I realized I did not have any cocoa powder, friends. So I have half of my popsicle made. I don't know if anyone else had that problem. I thought I had it. I think someone in my house used it. Okay, let's talk about this. So this Walking on Sunshine was all about finding joy, finding happiness, really locking into our sunshine this month. I wonder if anyone has anything to share, wants to share anything that they are happy or that's made them happy during this weekend. I saw some great posts on socials, different people while they were on their walk. I saw one of our members found this awesome rock that she kind of took with her off of her walk, which I thought was so cool. I haven't found anything like that yet, but I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to share. Yes, please. Yes.
I think the thing for me is that doing that, I divided into 2 days. I did 3 and 3.2.
Yeah.
But when I finished, I felt so accomplished. And I walk by myself. There's nobody in our neighborhood that really likes to walk. I mean, And so I decided years ago, I will just continue to walk by myself because it's kind of my me time. But it was such an accomplishment. So that was my happiness. And I did it in 2 days, which I went, hallelujah. So
amazing. Yeah.
And it's all personal. It's all whatever is good for us.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. That's so great. I love that. That is exciting. It is really a personal time. Congrats. Okay, and I see Colleen said here, I'm having a great time on my walks. I broke mine up. Tomorrow, finishing up in the park. Colleen, congratulations. That's awesome. I love that. I have a park near me as well. I'll share something today. So I actually went to the beach with my mom this morning. And she was like, let's walk the boardwalk. And I was like, great, because I'm walking a 10K. So that's exactly what I need to do. So I was able to knock out 2 miles right there on the boardwalk, which is super exciting. It's obviously a beautiful view. And I'm so jealous because a lot of our members live in these really cool places. And they're like, walk through the trees today, walks through the mountainside. And I'm like, I live in a neighborhood. I need to move somewhere cool. So exciting. Okay, did anyone else want to share? If not, it's fine, no pressure. Yes, Janet?
I decided to do mine all at once, and we got back from vacation on Wednesday. So I did my walk on Thursday morning before I headed back to work.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a great way to kind of ease back into things and kind of celebrate time away and just the wonderful nature. I walked on a rail trail and I saw, heron and heard bullfrogs. And it was just a really nice way to get back used to being home and then getting in a good frame of mind to head back to the reality of work. So,
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy you're able to do that. It is. Walking is a great option too. It's like, you don't realize like how nice and calming it can be too. Just kind of, thinking about what am I doing this week? What am I doing tonight? Maybe if you're working on a problem or something in your head, it's nice to kind of move and be able to kind of get that thought process going. So thank you for sharing that. That's so great. And happy after vacation, I guess. I hope it was restful. Okay, I'm gonna take 99 walks to the music playlist. Let the power walk in the change tempo keeps me motivated. Yes, Gail, isn't that great? And I don't know if you guys know, we're having some more music added, I believe. So that's really exciting for us. You do yours in 2 parts, same day due to continuous rain and storms. Yes, it's either like raining or it's just like dreadful heat. It's no in between. So getting those walks in can be hard. Suzanne, I set a goal due mine this morning, completed. Okay, yes, congratulations. Awesome. And the meditation I use for cool down. You guys really have like a plan. You're knocking it out. I love seeing this and hearing about it. You're also giving me ideas of what I need to be doing too. So awesome. Okay. Chef Kimberly, how are you doing? You want us to keep going or you're kind of ready? Oh, you're sipping your drink. I think you're ready.
You're fine. So remember when I said put it on a baking sheet and then put it in the freezer? Totally dropped it. Totally dropped it. So now there's chocolate all over the freezer. It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
See, this is why I said it. Put it on a baking sheet. Did I listen to myself? No. It's cool. It's fine. You want to know how I know it's fine? Because I do stuff like this all the time. So there was actually like something underneath it to catch it already. It's fine. It's cool. It'll be easier to clean it up once it's, no longer hot. It's not a problem. But you can continue talking because I have to peel my kiwi. So it's all good.
Okay. All right.
Not a problem. I'm going to peel my kiwi. This is my little peeler. It goes on my finger.
Oh, yeah, I have that as well. I don't know if anyone else has one of those. They're really convenient.
I told you, I teach children.
Yeah, makes sense.
We
Okay.
have all sorts of gadgets. They're so fun. Now, I will say this. Okay. There's a disclaimer on this watermelon popsicle. While it is the most delicious thing ever, I think I've made 6 or 7 different flavors of popsicles this summer, and the watermelon was like the favorite. You have a little freedom in this one. I don't actually like kiwi, but the kiwi kind of gives us the illusion that it's a watermelon. So, the last time I did them, I just like dyed my yogurt green and did it that way because I don't actually like kiwi. But so that's just a little disclaimer. If you don't like kiwi like I don't, then you don't have to use it. Grapes don't work. I tried it. Don't do that. It was too heavy and it fell down through it. The cocoa nibs, I believe it mentions cocoa nibs. If you want it to make it look like seeds in there, you can put them in, but again, they're heavy, right? So unless you have all day to make these popsicles, I would not put the cocoa nibs in, because what will happen is you'll make the puree like we're gonna make, and then you will need to fill it up like a third of the way and then freeze it for an hour. And then you'll put in another third and you'll drop in some cocoa nibs and you'll freeze that for an hour. And then you'll add a little bit more and then you'll freeze that. And then you will add your yogurt, freeze it, and then do the kiwi. So unless you have all day, I would just skip it if I were you. So when I made the book, I had all day. I had the time. So I just like to warn people that while this is the cutest popsicle in the world, it took work to get there. You can also, here's the other thing. This was like a 2-for-1. So the yogurt part that we're gonna mix, you can just use that as a popsicle. Like the yogurt and the honey mixed together, or agave syrup or maple syrup. Yogurt and maple syrup mixed together and then freeze it. That is so delicious. So that's just my little note to you, that you can definitely do that. Especially if you need to trick a kid into eating something healthy. I like to do those sorts of things to children. They never know. All right, I got my little kiwi going here, and I'm gonna mash it up. So,
Also, question, sorry.
Yeah. go ahead.
I am over here. I have my watermelon. I'm going to blend it. My question is, I know in the recipe it says to use a small watermelon. So how many cups does that kind of come out to? Because I'm a big watermelon eater, so I normally go buy a big one and just cut it up. What do you-
Yes. Okay, so when I did a small watermelon and I compared it to just buying pre-cut watermelon in the store, it was about the same. So today I cheated and I just bought pre-cut watermelon from the store. So this is 1.5 pounds. So the first watermelon I had was literally like the little personal size ones. And I used that entire watermelon and I made 8 popsicles. So if you're doing like a big watermelon, more than likely you're gonna get, I'm trying to calculate how many we got when we did that. Okay, this one holds 10. So my things are different sizes, okay? So this one only has 10, but it's bigger than the one that has 12, like size-wise. So that's your other thing, is that if you're using a longer popsicle, you're probably gonna need more watermelon than not. So while I would love to give you an exact answer, I can't, because it depends on what size your popsicle molds are. Because I have one smaller than this. So I didn't realize they came in different sizes until I started ordering all of them. But they're different. So this I want to say, no, that's not even a regular size. This is probably a regular size popsicle you buy in the store. So you're gonna need more watermelon than this. Probably half of one of those really big watermelons will fill up these 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're gonna use, I kind of don't want to do all of it, but we're going to. Also, fair warning, this is gonna be super loud, okay? This is not a regular blender. This is a high-powered blender that I learned about this summer. Didn't know there was a difference. There is. You'll see it in a second. It's gonna be super, super loud. I apologize in advance, but it's gonna be done in like 30 seconds. So I'm just dropping in my watermelon, season off, none of that matters. We're gonna strain it. I have my strainer. So we're gonna strain it. I did not add any additional sugar to it. I literally just let the watermelon go. Turn down my volume. Oh, you telling everybody else did. I was like, I can't turn down mine. Sorry. There you go. Wait. Or maybe we're not. See, it's done. Like, so again, I learned a very valuable lesson this summer about blenders and how they are truly different. I did not know this. I learned this making smoothie bowls. The blender, it's OSTER, oyster, but it's called a high-powered blender. Like that was the name of it. And I bought it because I was making smoothie bowls this summer, because those are all the rage, but smoothie bowls are really thick. And they have a setting on here for smoothie bowls. So they don't overblend, like it's got different settings for things where it underblends or overblends stuff for you. Got it from Target. Picked it up. Yeah. Great.
Kimberly, it's Colleen. It's Colleen. I'm going to just take myself off of mute and ask you.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that type of blender and like a NutriBullet? Is it like one and the same? Because I have a NutriBullet.
Yep. A NutriBullet would work.
Like I just have the basic one.
It should still work. From what I can remember, my college student stole my Ninja. So, but from what I remember, it worked just fine. Like it was high powered enough to work. Whereas I had like a little $15 blender from Walmart that did not do anything for me. So if you can make smoothies in your Ninja, you're totally fine. Totally fine.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if you, okay, I have a texture problem. I know that's weird, but I have a texture problem. I don't like pulp. So that's why I'm straining this. Like, I'm not a person who is going to drink Chick-fil-A lemonade because it's lemons floating in it. That's not delicious to me. So, if you're like me, strain your watermelon so you don't have any pulp in it. But if you're okay with that, if you like it, then leave it in there. You don't have to strain it. But you're gonna see how much is left in this strainer in a second. I don't want that in my mouth. So I want mine to be super, super smooth and super tasty. We're almost there. Let's see if I can come closer. Can you see how much is left in there? It's a lot. All right. So that's not delicious to me. I don't like that at all. So that's gonna be the other thing, Rachel, is if you strain it or not. Because me straining it, there's quite a bit left in this that's not in my bowl. See the difference? So if you're gonna strain it, I would err on the side of caution and just make extra. Who doesn't love watermelon? And then you can also put this in ice cubes. You can have a little watermelon ice. All the things. Because I like that kind of stuff. Okay. Now here's the deal. I feel like I want to make these in the red one this time. I did them in the green one last time. So when you order these, they come with funnels. Right? Like this is where you would use your funnel if you were pouring straight from the bowl into the thing. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pour it into my mixing glass with the spout. Okay, so that gave me a cup of juice. Okay, so I had 1.5 pounds of watermelon. It gave me a cup of juice. So that should help you gauge what it's going to give you. Okay, so you can use your funnel. You kind of stick it down in there and then pour over into it. So for the watermelon popsicles, this does still have to freeze in 3 different sections. Even if you don't add the cocoa nibs, it still has to freeze in 3 parts. So we will freeze the watermelon for an hour. It won't be fully frozen, but it'll be frozen enough that we can put the yogurt on top of it. And then we let that freeze for an hour so that it's frozen enough. And then you can add on your kiwi, because remember that kiwi is heavy and it'll move. If you're not adding the kiwi and you're just gonna do the yogurt part, then you only need to do it in 2 parts. It will need to freeze for 8 hours.
What happens if you just throw everything in there together? And I'm not saying that I'm someone that will do that, but maybe if I just want to throw my yogurt, what's the worst?
So, okay, here's what I would do. Because what it's going to look like is, you know how like when you go to Starbucks and they give you your drink, but then you have to stir it up and then you see everything just kind of in there? That's what it's going to look like when you freeze it, okay? It's going to taste the same. It just won't have this watermelon effect, which honestly, who cares, right? So if you're going to mix it, I personally would start with the yogurt because it's heavier, right? And then I would do the watermelon on top because the watermelon will still push down into the yogurt part of it and kind of push it up the sides a little bit so that you get the yogurt and the watermelon flavor at the same time. But if you do it the other way, then the watermelon will go in first, but then the yogurt is going to kind of sink in the middle. I'm not sure what that's going to look like for presentation. But if you're not making a popsicle book, it probably doesn't matter, right? I knew y'all was going to see these photos, so I had to do it the right way. Okay, yeah, it's a thing. Y'all weren't going to talk about me. Like, oh, those photos are ugly. Absolutely not. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. I don't like this funnel because I can't see. We're gonna take that out. I've never used a funnel. I just want to see what was gonna happen. So filling these, okay, it's rolling. It's not bad. My daughter doesn't like kiwi either. Actually, she didn't like the yogurt part either. So I did 4 of those with no yogurt. It's not gonna have any yogurt in it. It's just gonna be the watermelon pop because she likes it. Another thing to point out, depending on the size of your molds, will determine the size of your stick because they are different. So all of my molds came with a stick, and the sticks are different sizes. So let's see. That's the 99 walk stick versus the stick that came with it for the red mold. But for the green mold, the 99 walk stick is the same size. So depending on how long your mold is, just make sure you watch that, because then that becomes a gravity thing where it's not going to come out. Trust me, I've learned. I've had a very fun summer, if you cannot tell. So I am going to mix this because we're going to mix it up so I can take a picture of it and post it tomorrow of what it's going to look like, what happens. I don't know. So I'm going to mix the honey and the yogurt together. Maple syrup is super delicious with this. You can also do agave, okay? Whatever sweetener you want. It doesn't matter. So you want to mix it as much as possible. Unless you like to see the streaks. I personally don't want to see streaks in mine, so I get rid of them. You can taste it. Oh, it was kind of good. All right, I kind of like that. So I'm going to pour some in here. And no, I'm not measuring. I'm just pouring it in. You know how much you want to taste. Right? So it's totally up to you. How much yogurt, how little yogurt you would like to do. No one is here to judge you. I like to tell people that in the kitchen. No one's here to judge you. There's no rules. Unless you're baking. That's very different. You take my baking class, there are nothing but rules. Nothing but rules. The children don't like that at all. It doesn't matter. Their cakes come out beautifully. Okay, we're going to test this. I'm eager to see what it's going to look like tomorrow. I was right. So pouring it in this way, it kind of like, looks kind of like a waterfall. Like how it rushed into it and then it moved the yogurt up. So my assumption is that we're going to have a nice, cute little swirl once this freezes. I don't know. You'll have to watch my social media tomorrow. So I'll tag 99 Walks in it. Watch their social media too. So then if you want to do, just because you had me do this differently, Rachel, since we're improv, I'm going to see what happens if I add some kiwi to it. I don't know. All right. So I'm going to do, instead of mashing it all the way, because when I mashed it, so the kiwi's got all the little black dots in it, right? So let's see what happens if I just drop a slice in. I don't know. Maybe that's going to give us what we need. If not, you can totally mash it up with a fork. And add it in there as you choose. I don't know. There's no rules. It's all kind of fun. I just want to, at this point, we're totally off script, and I just want to see what's going to happen. Your book tells you the correct way to do it, okay? So if you're a follow the rules type of person, follow the workbook. I took all the photos step by step. It's totally there. And I want to say this one is on my blog too. I'm almost positive it is. So they're there. Everything's all good. I think that's all the kiwi I want to do. It's tangy. I don't know what about that bothers me for this, but here we go. Okay. So since we are not doing this the proper way because of Rachel, blame her. You should have frozen this for an hour. Took it out of the freezer and then added your layers of things if you wanted to, like the popsicle that's on the paper, okay? So when we do this, you take these and you fit them on it. Now, the thing that I've learned, here we go. All right. So they're all kind of different. This one hugs it a little more than others do. You just take your popsicle stick and stick it straight there. That's it. But do this after you put this top on. That way, once they're frozen, like if you have kids in your house, don't let them try and check it. It's gonna take 8 to 10 hours. It just is. I've tried, if you lift this, it's gonna break your popsicle. So don't do that, okay? I've done all the things to mess it up to see what happens. Ooh, okay. I don't really mash them all the way in. They're probably about, I don't know. There's a good little bit left out. Push that in there. Also great for teething babies. Make popsicles. You guys tell I've been babysitting a lot this summer. Not my children. My kids are in college. Yeah. It's not me. So once you stick them all in, I like to, well, I don't have one on me. So if I were to use like a knife or something, I try and make sure they're all the same length and like nothing is sticking up higher than another. I know there's absolutely nothing in these down here. It's just for demonstration purposes. Yes, there's nothing in those. I like to make sure they're all the same length because I'm weird. And when I take things out, I take a picture of everything. And so all my sticks need to be the same. So that's just me because I'm a little strange like that. All right, so this I know I'm not going to drop on the way to the freezer because it's fully enclosed as opposed to the chocolate that was not. And this actually needs to go outside of my deep freezer. If you have a deep freezer, these freeze better. There is no cornstarch in this, so it is going to be icy, like a popsicle, which is what we want. But you do taste all of the watermelon, and it just tastes like you're eating really, really cold watermelon on a summer day. That's what it's going to taste like. So I'm going to go move this over here.
I'm attempting to do this along with Chef Kimberly. I'm going to be very honest with you all and say it's not going super great, but I have my 6 popsicles here and hopefully we'll see. I don't know how it's going for everyone else.
It's like you really have to plan this out. Like you do. So we're going to talk through the last one because there's literally no way. Like there's just no way to do the lemonade one because the lemonade one took me like 3 tries. And there's absolutely no way that I'm going to attempt to show you how to do this and not mess it up. So there's some things you need to know about the lemonade. You have to create like a simple syrup for the lemonade. Because we're doing that, because the temperature gets so high when you cook it on the stove, it's gonna take a lot longer to freeze, okay? So if you're gonna do, and it's really, really tart. It's really, really tart. We're talking Sour Patch Kids tart. Oh, I'm so jealous your daughter's cooking dinner for you. I wish. Neither one of my kids cook. Can y'all believe that? Their mother is a chef. They don't cook at all. So when you are preparing this one, give yourself time because this one needed to freeze the longest. I want to say I let it freeze about 12 hours. The kids absolutely loved it though. Like if you like Sour Patch Kids, you'll love this one. If you want a sweeter, I don't really like sour stuff. So my suggestion would be to increase the amount of sugar in your syrup in order to make it, because that's the only sugar that we're putting in that popsicle, right? It's gonna need longer to freeze. So as long as you give it the time, like I just let it freeze overnight, 12 to 14 hours. Some of them were breaking. Like when we went to pull it out, the bottom of them was breaking. So if I'm not mistaken, I put the strawberries in first and then the lemonade. I would do it the opposite way if I were to do it again. I would put the lemonade in first and then the strawberry puree. Like the same way we just kind of did this, because then it'll still mix it up while it's freezing, but it won't leave so much sugar down at the bottom of it that it doesn't freeze all the way. Another way for you to test it is to, when you take it out, squeeze the bottom. And if, you know, there's still give, like if it's not fully hardened, don't take them out because they may be frozen in the middle, but they're not frozen at the bottom. We had like 4 of them that weren't fully frozen because we did not do that test. So definitely test it before you do it. And I feel like that was kind of it. I just know that one took several different tries when we were trying to put it together. But like what's the one, the pineapple one that's inside of your workbooks? That one froze fastest, probably because it has the least amount of sugar than all of them. But that was a great way to sneak vegetables in because it had fresh spinach in it. And the pineapple actually hides the flavor. You don't even know that there's, you know, spinach in that one. That was super good. I don't remember if there was another one or not. I feel like that might have been it. I don't remember. And I don't have a book. Well, I have a book. It just didn't print. So I don't remember. But popsicles themselves, some of the popsicle molds come with a popsicle like cookbook. Definitely try those. If I've learned anything this summer making popsicles is that you can turn anything into a popsicle. Literally anything. You can turn anything into a popsicle and it's wonderful. If you decide to do this when fruit is out of season, right? Like if you decided you wanted to do this during the summer, get the fruit already frozen. As opposed to like buying strawberries in December. They are not in season in December, so they're gonna cost you an arm and a leg. As opposed to just buying some frozen strawberries. You can thaw them out and then do the recipes as is or leave them frozen. Then it kind of cuts down your freezing time anyway because your fruit is already frozen. So that would be my suggestion if you do this when they're not in season. Everything that we did today is currently in season, which is why we did them. But like for the fudge ones, you could totally add bananas to it. You could, you know, all sorts of different things. And banana will sweeten it up a little bit too. You can do all sorts of things, all sorts of flavors, peanut butter and jelly. I'm working on that one because I just feel like that would be a super cool popsicle. Who doesn't want peanut butter and jelly? But I think that's it. I don't know. Do you guys have any more questions? What about dates? Oh, you can totally use dates. Yeah. I would just blend them or use a food processor. I wouldn't necessarily chop them unless you like texture. If you want to chew it, then chop it kind of fine. Don't leave big chunks because in my head, dates and raisins are going to work the same way. And you don't want them too gummy. That's the word I'm looking for. You don't want them too gummy. If I was gonna say something. So like sometimes with raisins, we soak them. You can soak them in a simple syrup. You can soak them in water. If you want to make adult versions, you can soak them in alcohol. You can soak raisins in rum and then chop them up and put them in your mix. Then you get the flavor. A little bit of a buzz, but not really. I don't drink, so I can't tell you how much to use. But that would definitely work. But dates would totally work. And dates are also going to give you a thicker popsicle. It's going to be more like the chocolate fudge ones. You're going to get the same type of consistency with dates. Do you guys have any more questions? Rachel looks like she has a question.
I was just standing on my unmute button. I was looking through I'm going to read out what we have. We have strawberry lemonade popsicles, watermelon popsicles, we did pineapple lime, the strawberry mango, and then the fudge, which I will be making all of them once I see how my watermelon yogurt situation turns out.
Those are good.
Yeah. I'm excited.
They're yummy. They are.
Okay.
I gave you all the best ones. that I've tried this summer. I gave you all of the best ones. But definitely, I think the biggest thing to know about making popsicles is be patient. That's the biggest thing. Definitely taste it, especially those fudge ones. Taste it before you freeze it, because whatever it tastes like before it goes in the freezer, it's just gonna taste like that frozen. So it might not be delicious. Oh, well, thanks. Yes, please follow me at Chef Kimmy Who. My children named me that 9 years ago. I've tried to outgrow it. It just doesn't work. So, yes. Unmute. You're muted.
I thought I wasn't. Could you spell your name, how you
Oh,
said?
yeah. So it's Kimihou. Kimberly Inez Houston. We just shortened my name. It's Kimmy.
Oh, Kimmy Houston. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. There was a question that came through and I missed it. What did it say, Rachel?
Any recommendations for when to use simple syrup versus other sweeteners versus other liquids?
Oh, sure. So that's actually just a personal preference, if I'm honest. So if you're going for a healthier popsicle, then you're going to want to use a healthier sweetener, right? So we would go with honey. We would go with agave, maple, pure maple syrup. Like, I don't use any other kind. I would use those if I was going healthy. If you are going for delicious popsicle, I want to feel like a kid again, then you make a simple syrup. Okay. Because, and you can do tea. Oh my gosh. I made peach tea last week and froze it. It was so good. But I made it with a peach simple syrup. So I took fresh peaches and did them the same way we just did the watermelon, but I cooked it down in a simple syrup. And that's how I flavored the tea. And then I froze it. And it was the most delicious thing. Oh my God, it was so good. So it depends on like your preference. You can use a simple syrup in any of these. Oh, you guys have the recipe book for the popsicles.
Yep, it came through in an email. I'm going to post it again to the Facebook group. So you guys can look at that right on the Facebook group. There'll be a link so you can download that popsicle book and have it for the rest of the summer, which actually we're at the end of our time actually with Chef Kimberly Houston. Round of applause. Yes.
Yay, this was fun.
Oh, Colleen, no worries. A lot of people did. I did at a point. I had to go search in my email for it. So I'll make sure that you guys get it. You always can email me or team at 99walks.fit, Rachel at 99walks.fit. Please send me a message if you had a good time. I love the feedback. So Chef Kimberly, thank you so much for being on here. Oh, that was great. We'll see how my popsicles turn out. I just threw everything in there. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Guys, thank you so much for showing up. Remember, tomorrow is the closing ceremony. It's our last day of walking. So get out there and do it. A lot of people have already done it. And I'll see you guys at 7 on the Facebook group, live, 7 p.m. EDT. Thank you, Chef Kimberly. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Welcome. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.
Good night.